Oh, the music's on. Okay.
The music thing going. What you doing? Pay attention.
First, I can't believe that we're going to cover this,
Yep.
but we are anyway.
Yep.
So if your screen turns orange, don't blame us. The president of these United States, Donald Trump, and he's sinking the economy. He's putting us in wars, bypassing the Congress to actually put us in them, and making gas prices skyrocket so high you would think breasts are being uplifted for every woman in the land. He found enough time to sign an executive order this past Friday designed to limit how long athletes can play college sports and how often they can transfer between schools. Now, stop me if you've heard all of what I'm about to say before. The order directs the NCAA to create rules that mandate college athletes that can play for, quote, no more than a 5-year period, close quote, and allows them to transfer schools only once before they graduate without having to sit out a season. The rule changes are scheduled to go into effect this August. A school that plays an athlete who doesn't meet these new limits could risk losing its federal funding. The order also states the NCAA could update its rules to create a national registry for player agents and create policies that prevent schools from cutting scholarships or other opportunities for women's and Olympic sports in order to pay their athletes. Now, the White House said in a news release about said order, quote, college sports cannot function without clear, agreed upon rules concerning pay for play and player eligibility that can't be endlessly challenged in court, as is the case now. Close quote. Multiple lawyers who work with colleges and their athletes told ESPN they believe that the judges would rule out the president's order to be unconstitutional and unenforceable if challenged in court. NCAA president and absolute dummy Charlie Baker. Yeah, I said it. Charlie Baker, absolute dummy.
Before you continue on, you got to give a special shout out. I got you.
All right.
Special shout out because guess who's in the building?
All right. Here's a special shout out to our brother from the Sunshine State, A Pizzle. A Pizzle 90. He says, Playmaker. Dolphins fan extraordinaire. How you doing? What's up, baby? Cole, what's up? What's up, A Pizzle?
And he gave you a round of applause. And he gave you a round of applause for your minor achievement.
Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you.
And before you continue on,
appreciate that love, my man. As always.
I'm gonna make Cole Johnson's day a little more better. You ready for this?
We already did with A Pistol.
Well, he's gonna get even better because guess who's joining the program?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
my brother. Cool in the house. Oh yeah.
What's going on?
Oh man, the day is exponentially better now that you stepped on the scene. That's what I'm talking about.
Appreciate that, sir. Appreciate that.
Told
you. You should told me you're gonna have Cool come onto the set, bro.
Nah, I wanted to say that.
You know how you be doing. You know how you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't tell him everything. You know he the EP of all EPs. Can't tell him everything.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a great show now.
That's like
especially with a topic that I know I want him to cook on. Oh, this is gonna be a beautiful show now. Yes. Ooh.
Do you have any more important things to read in our article? Because I kind of do just want to go ahead and just get to the whole point of this. Because
okay, let me see. Okay, your thoughts on it? No, I'm just gonna read it, button up the article, and go on to the next one. Your thoughts, sir?
What have me and Cole Johnson been saying on another show that we do together? What have we been saying?
Clowns can't enforce crap, and they need the government to help them out. I'm like, this is so funny that it's all.
And as much as I mess with Orange Man so goddamn much, He basically did what me and Coach Justin said to do. But the problem is, how did you open everything up, Coach Justin, when you got to this article? How did you open it up? Oh, everything else he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, sinking the economy, having gas prices skyrocket faster than women having breast lifts, and putting us in wars that he's bypassing the Congress to actually put us in. Yeah.
So here's the thing. He's doing all this correctly. He actually did. He actually is doing what me and Cole has been saying to do with the NCAA, but they can't force their own rules, by the way. It's the most stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. Thank you, Nick Saban. But you know what the problem is? You know why this is not being well received? Dare I do a little teaser for another show I'll be doing later on today? It's the right message, but the wrong messenger.
Oh Lord.
And you will be talking about both of those messages. I may decide to give some comments on those, but
I mean, people want college sports to be fixed. The people that run the college sports can't force it, so they went to the government, and the government is actually the ones with a brain for once, and nobody's receiving it. So what are we doing?
Well, here's what you have to understand, Mr. Solomons and Mr. Johnson, as well as listening audience or viewing
Yes,
audience
sir, Mr. McCain.
as well. What you have to understand is simply this. You have allowed kids to get paid. You've allowed grown men to play with 17 to 18-year-olds. They know they can't make it to the next level. So why would they want to give that up? Why would they? It's the only thing they have. Right? We talk about in the radio all the time, sports radio, different stuff, how there's nothing to manage these agents. So these kids have agents, but they take whatever percentage they want. Right? They don't have the same level of protection like a professional contract. So with them to now only be able to be in college for 5 years, only be able to transfer one time. Okay. Serious question. And I'm going to use something else we're going to talk about later. Let's say I just have this burning desire to play for a former NBA coach, right? And a certain team hires a former NBA championship coach. He goes there, stays 2 or 3 years, does really well. The NBA calls and says, "Hey, Mike, so you want to slide back through? You want to run it back?" And he leaves. Those kids, let's say some of them use the transfer portal to come play for him. So now they're stuck at that school due to Congress, which is the biggest band of assholes I know, passing a law that says they can only transfer one time. How is that fair to the kid? That's not. But that's the situation we want to put the kids in so that we can stop those few who are 27, 28 still playing. But here's the thing that I say, even those that are older are playing. If you're so athletically inferior, that you have to go out and try to do your thing against 17 to 21-year-olds, you're probably no better than them anyway. You're just older. Because if you had the talent, you would move to the next level. What I said all along, a little bit different. I think everybody should get the first transfer, no problem. But then depending on your situation, you should be allowed another transfer. You have family situations, real family situations, not my auntie that I met one time in my life got gout, so I need to move home. But like, a serious family situation that you need to move back home, like a parent, a sibling, or a close relative might be in hospice or something. You want to be there for their last days. A parent's seriously injured, something like that. A coach leaves. I believe if a coach leaves a team, every player on that team should have a window to transfer. Because if you're going to allow that coach to leave, then it's not fair to tie those players to that organization. Of course, it's extreme circumstances. And then if the coach leaves, those are examples that need to be automatically included and said from the jump. Because if it's not, then we're getting a bunch of paper pushers that know nothing about sports and what happens in the life of everyday people. And for that, you should be flogged and thrown out and become vagabonds.
Flogged.
I mean, no matter what, somebody gonna find a loophole in whatever and use it to their
I'm just saying there should be certain things you don't even need a loophole for. Like it should be there. If you're gonna come up with your Congress-led rule, then you need to make sure that makes as much sense as possible to help these students who always are the ones that are put in the bad place. You know what I'm saying? No matter if you're getting paid $5 million a year, if you came to play for a certain coach in a certain system in whatever sport, and that coach leaves, you should be able to leave too. Either follow that coach or go somewhere else where they play a system that you can thrive in. And that shouldn't require anything besides I'm out. Just saying. But in a normal situation where a guy just wants to transfer because he's not happy he's not starting, or the coach has been a little hard on him, stuff like that, sit your $4 hind pots down before we make change.
Like, that's pretty much the reason why they put that in that purpose, right?
I know. I'm just saying.
So you get 1 year to transfer without saying out. But if you transfer again, it's back to the old rules when you got to sit out a year. When you get one free transfer.
Depending on the situation, you should get more than one. But those situations need to, again, be lined out so that we're not dealing with gray area. Anything besides those, I'm not even going to say you got to wait a year. You don't get to transfer. You don't get to transfer because your feelings are hurt. And you're feeling like a man with sensitivity.
I think that's a lot of people these days.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Johnson, you got anything you want to add before we move on to the other article?
Well, actually, I mean, the beautiful part about having wonderful colleagues and friends like the two of these brothers here, they basically said exactly all that I was thinking, and then some. But I will I will conclude this article this way. So the president's executive order does not address employment or other major unresolved issues in college sports, such as a push from certain places to reshape how schools share revenue from their television contracts, for an example. But it further stamps home what we heard from Nick Saban in the Rose Bowl 3 months ago. Oh, boy. Well,
before you continue on, Snowman's checking in.
Snowman Multimedia, he says, hey, Snowman checking in. So sorry that your Wildcats decided to get handled by the Wolverines in the national semifinal, but congratulate them because I can't remember the Wildcats going this far in a good while. If I'm not mistaken, like 25 years? So yeah, congrats to your Wildcats. I'm glad that they went that far. Good season for you, and possibly making the Big 12 looking really good. All right, so we're staying in college, but we're focusing on. I still can't believe I'm about to say. The NCAA, they want and they expect to finalize an expansion of both the men's and women's tournaments from 68 teams to 76. So obviously, I guess the success of having the play-in games before we get to the first round must be so.
Well, now when they finalize it, will become the actual first round.
That's what I was going to get to. That
Yes, sir.
it must be so favorable that now they're going to actually make it a round of its own. So I guess it's like I'm trying to think. It's like what we heard from what was it, Marlon and Sean Wayans. More money, more money, more money. Oh, good
Yeah.
Lord.
I have the Yahoo article right in front of me. So
Go ahead.
the NCAA is looking to expand March Madness, and a decision is coming soon. NCAA leadership and members of the association basketball committees are expected to finalize an expansion of the men's and women's basketball tournament to 76, as reported by Yahoo Sports' Ross Dilliner. If this comes to fruition, 8 games will be added to the current first 4 played on Tuesday and Wednesday before the original first round. The new opening round will feature 24 teams playing in 12 games over Tuesday and Wednesday at 2 host sites. The winners will then join the other 52 teams. The NCAA has looked to expanding March Madness bracket for several years. This would drastically change the format of the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournament over the first 2 days. In this scenario, the original round of 64 will stay. The path to making it will be just different.
More money, more money, more money.
Should I keep going, or do y'all two want to go ahead and say y'all piece?
Cool. You go, bro.
All right. So I've alluded to the fact that something like this needs to happen. I came up with my own idea. I think that this needs to happen. And I think those playing should never, let me repeat, I mean ever include any conference champion. So if I were redoing March Madness, and I think smarter than the people who actually do it, if I was redoing March Madness, say all conference championship winners, mid-major, big conferences, I do not care. You would be placed in between 8 and 12 seeds. So no conference champion should be under a 12 seed. You might say, oh, blah, 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 blah. Whatever you want to add there. Let me explain why I think this makes sense. I'll be quick. If you're an 8 to 12 seed and you're a mid-major, you're not playing a number 1 seed, number 2 seed, number 3 seed. You're playing that are more than likely within the same realm of talent as you. We see a lot of these blowouts early because these mid-major schools and in the smaller schools as well, they don't get love. They go through a grueling season, they win the conference championship, and then they get plugged in a playing. They get plugged in a 15-17 against a 1, 2, or 3 seed. So let's make it where we actually have a chance to advance. All these teams are in the 8-12s now. Y'all going to slide down to 13-16. Y'all playing the playing games because you didn't win your conferences. You can talk if they were in that club. They're not in that conference. I don't want to hear any of that bull crap anymore. I want people to play for their way in if you didn't win no conference. I want you to have a fair shot to at least win your first round game if you did win a conference. And after that, all bets are off. It depends on who wins. We know how the tournament plays out. But this extra game, us last 4 in, last 4 out type thing. So now I would keep the last 4 in or last 8 in, last 8 out like it is. And the last 8 out, theoretically, we change the name of it from last 8 out melts. But I would have those guys play each other in those playing games. So since you sucked and they sucked a little bit more, y'all play, and then whoever's game, then you actually get around to 64. So I embrace a little expansion. I just didn't want to go too far. 80, 76, I don't have a problem with. It is more money. but you can just throw those games on the same day that the other games are on, and it can just be like the second round on the first day.
To what Koo was just saying, the expansion will give the NCAA more games over the first 2 days instead of the traditional 4 matchups. There will be a full day of games on Tuesday through Sunday. So you're talking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Mr. Johnson.
More money, more money, more money. I mean, the NCAA for the first week, they basically ruled Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for God knows how long. They tested the waters by having a play-in game, loved it, and decided to have 2 of them. And now they loved it so much, they want to expand the tournament further. Is it a good thing? Yeah, but I agree with Cool. I mean, I think you got to have provisions. You can't have conference champions be in it. And you got to be intelligent enough to put the right teams in these games, because we basically want to see competitive games more than having a Goliath beat down a David. Because if that happens, this round would absolutely royally suck. But if they do it right, this actually might be a good teaser to how the tournament actually opens up when you get to the real meat of it starting that Thursday. But make no mistake, it is more money, more money, more money for the NCAA.
Basically, what they're saying, NCAA, if y'all do go forward with this, we don't need no more Wiley Coyotes trying to chase a road runner, because you already know how that ends. And I do believe you're still sticking in the NCAA because, yeah.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. A wonderful coach from the women's ranks, Virginia's head coach, Amaka Agugua-Hamilton, unfortunately now is former. She has been fired from the women's program in Charlottesville this past Saturday. Now, Agugua-Hamilton led the Cavaliers to the Sweet 16 for the first time in 26 years. Yes, you heard me correct. She led this team to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2000. Now, she went 70-58, including a 29-42 mark in ACC play. However, Virginia became the first double-digit seed to reach the regional semifinals since 2022, and it pulled off the upset of the tournament, knocking out number 2 seed Iowa on the road to double overtime in the second round. It became the first Final Four team to advance this far since before falling to TCU. Now, Agugua-Hamilton had this to say about that loss. Quote, "I thought we had some really good moments in that game, but the third quarter got away from us. We came up short, but that doesn't take away from our season or the growth that we've had with our program." Close quote. South Carolina head coach Dawn Staley, the female head coach, Dawn Staley, who starred at Virginia as a player, said that she just heard the news about the coaching change, saying, quote, "I did reach out to the athletic director of Virginia, and she just told me that they did part ways. I don't know why. We'll talk. I did reach out to Coach Mox to check on her. I didn't have time to have a conversation with her. I don't know what went wrong. She had them on the right track." Close quote. And before I kick it off to you guys, Coach Staley, right on, sister. Okay. Cool, your thoughts?
Before Cool go, let me go, because another news came out. According to this news, their star player, Kamari Johnson, she's in the transfer portal because y'all fired her.
Oops.
Now you lost your star player. She said, "Oh, that's what y'all gonna do?" I'm leaving. Which now is begging people to investigate on why did they fire Hamilton.
Well, sir, lucky for
Now,
you.
I was going to say
Sources.
before you go, my only rationale could be, and I don't even believe this. I don't even believe this would be 10% of it. It's her ACC record. Because there's no way you can tell me
with her performance on the court.
I'm finna say, because there's nothing you can tell me that you just made a Sweet 16 in 26 years. You made a Sweet 16 for the first time in 26 years, and then you fired a coach.
There was a internal investigation that had been launched on some complaints on Agugua-Hamilton. And after the university concluded and presented the foundings, she was let go. So it had nothing to do with her as a coach on the court. This had to do with some other things that were happening. They're not going to release exactly what it is, but basically there was an internal investigation after some complaints were raised. And once they did an investigation, so I understand players act how they act and they get mad and leave. But you have to understand this. A coach has a certain level of decorum that they're supposed to always have. And certain things they're not supposed to do. If you violate those things, unless you're Giamma or John Shire, you normally don't stay where you're.
If that's the case, and if Kumakan is correct, why didn't Virginia want to just go ahead and make a statement?
Well, North Carolina took for Lord knows how long to hire a dude that was out there the whole time.
Because I'm just saying, as of right now, Virginia, you're looking real crazy right about now.
Well, sir, if I've heard this from reliable sources, and I'm not the only one, come out for everyone as of yet. But see, I have to understand, you've had several major things happen. When you get rid of a coach, you normally have a press conference in a couple of days. When you hire a coach, you normally have a press conference in a couple of days. So the nation happened today. So we're not going to get a statement from Virginia today. North Carolina hired Mike Malone today. We're not going to get a statement from North Carolina today. That's not how it ever works. But there will be a statement put out here in the next couple of days. And then what I've been told from my reliable sources, and I also had it confirmed, it should come out. Much of it or how they're going to word it, but it had nothing to do with her as a coach.
I'm gonna be looking forward to that.
Well, let me rephrase that. The basketball side.
I'm gonna look forward to that statement because I need some light shed on this.
I'm gonna get so much light.
I said so.
Because it's how it goes. Yeah, they're not gonna. Because they're not gonna try to downcast her and make her look in a bad light. They just don't want her there because of what she did. And plus, you know they're gonna try to go down Staley, so they can't say but so much because they don't want to tick John off and make her feel like they want to come back. I don't believe she would leave South Carolina, but I believe
that's if she wants Virginia to leave South Carolina.
I don't think so. I don't think she wants to leave there either.
I think Virginia, she might leave for though, if there's anywhere.
I agree with that. But I'm thinking the way the way the program's rolling now, I can't see her leaving yet.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, she basically is South Carolina.
Yeah, but I agree with you too, Cool. If there's one place where she will leave Columbia, South Carolina for, it would be to go back to her alma mater. I 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah.
even more so than representing anything in Philly like Temple or Villanova.
Them Philly roots.
Agreed.
Hmm.
For Philly,
Hmm.
Virginia's her home for her too. She went to
Yeah.
It
college
is.
there.
And to close out around the Hardwood, Mr. McCain, you brought up the news earlier, so because I hadn't made a rap right for the show, if you would like to take it away.
Yes, sir.
Oh, coach that you know very well.
Multiple reports have reported that Mike Malone, I'm done with the Michael Malone crap. Mike Malone is going to be hired as the new head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. So, what I will say to this is very simple. Are you people surprised? And if you say you are, you people pay no attention to what's going on. You've heard one playmaker among several people yelling Chapel Bill and Bill Belichick and all that, right?
I cannot escape
So
that to
clearly,
save
the
my
AD
life now.
at North, the AD in North Carolina
Chapel
has a.
Hill.
I guess the best way I can say is he gets his jollies from hiring ex professional sport coaches that have won championships, that have championship pedigree. He struck again with one Mike Malone. People are talking about Billy Donovan and guys from other college programs, and I'm sitting there like, whoever's going to be the coach of this team is going to come for the pro level somehow, whether it's he's an assistant at the pro level or whether he's an ex head coach. And I had pinpointed Mike Malone, unfortunately, as a guy that would be there and be part of the conversation and probably end up where he's at right now. Now, I will say honest things about Mike Malone. Mike Malone has about a little bit more of a clue than Hubert Davis about how to use your bench. So hopefully it's something he's worked on developing and seeing other people not do and do it since he's been in the booth, then maybe he'll change. Um, he's a very emotional coach, so I like the fact that he'll bring some fire. You know, it might get old after a few years, but the good thing is in college, you've got no more than 4 years, well, no more than 5 years now. They have to be gone, so you know maybe the message won't get old. Um, as a fan of the Denver Nuggets and the UNC men's basketball, I feel like deja vu. Having him come in to be coached, but I hope he's developed and learned, and just turn it around on some of his thought process because he did some things right. We can go back and people can say whatever, but you don't win a championship if you don't do some things right. Right? He didn't fall into a championship. He fell out of a couple of other ones, I feel like, but he didn't fall into a championship. So I think on the surface, it's a good hire. Based on what they do at Carolina now, this was going to be the hire. There wasn't another former NBA coach with a championship, at least one championship, that was unemployed, looking for a job. So, again, based on what they want to do, this makes sense. And that's all I got to say about that.
Mike Malone
Well, all you Chapel
was
Hill guys,
formerly
I ain't forgot about you.
Mike Malone, formerly of the Nuggets, a world champion Nuggets when he was the head coach there, finding his way to Chapel Hill. That is awesome. Congratulations to Malone. Maybe he might restore the luster that is the Tar Heel way. We know that Hubert Davis was not. Oh, well.
Ever going to do it. Hubert Davis is a great person. I respect the heck out of the person. The head basketball coach of Sario's face. It needed to be replaced.
It was too big of a role for him. It's unfortunate. It is. But yes, Shout out to Mike Malone. He might have a national championship along with along with an NBA championship to actually hoist along with
I
him.
wouldn't be mad.
And of course, he comes from a good sturdy coaching tree because his father Brendan was one of the assistants during the bad boy days of the Pistons in the late '80s. So, dude knows what he's talking
He also
about.
coached with. He also coached with one Greg Popovich coach on his staff.
That's right. So yeah, he knows what a championship basketball team looks like for sure. And that concludes this edition of Around the Hardwood.